Sorry, you all. Let me make sure I'm recording. So, with your audience, who is your target audience is the place to begin. Okay. And remembering that wide nets don't catch is the concept of niching down. Get a clear understanding of your ideal target audience. Okay. What is their age? What is their gender? What is their income level? Right. This will help you make wise decisions about how to craft your book with a lot of love for your audience and them in mind. Okay. Now, the next question is what problem, desire, or experience in your book, what are you addressing in their experience? So, for example, Nisi said, I'm talking to women and young women about fibroids, right? So we know that one of the pain points of that group is literally African American women who are dealing with fibroids, some who are bleeding, hurting, some who are experiencing infertility. So when Nisi is thinking about how do I write my book, you're thinking about what are the pain points of that audience. Okay. All right. The next thing is how does your audience prefer to discover and engage with books? Now, this is very important because I'm going to talk about some different ways of publishing your book that is going to reach different audiences, okay? So as you're thinking through this, I want you to think about who is my target audience and try to get as clear as you can about who they are and what they need and what are their pain points and how will your book solve it? Okay. All right. I'm going to continue on here. The next thing I want you to consider is what is your timeline? When do you want to release your book into the world? Okay. So, what is my target publication date, right? And one of the things about this question is many of us have had ideas that have been rolling in our heads and in our hearts, and even maybe hiding somewhere on one of our computers. But if you decide, I've got to get this done, right? It's just a dream without a date, okay? If you add a date, like a SMART goal, if you add a date to the when, and by this time, I want to make sure that it's out there. Maybe it's your birthday. Maybe it is the birthday or even, excuse me, the a very important your wedding anniversary. Maybe it's the day that one of your children was born. Um, Maybe it is the date of a day when you have a big speaking engagement. I want to walk into that speaking engagement with my book in hand. Okay. I want by the end of 2026, by Mother's Day of 2026, I want to have my book done. For some of you, you might even be thinking, well, I have my book done. I just need to know what to do and how to get it out there. And so I want my book to be done by January 15th, right? Okay. And so having that date in mind for yourself is vital so that you can work towards that. And also so you can plan backwards, right? So that you can plan the editing, the cover design, the formatting, and your marketing process, okay? And then thinking about when's a good time to launch. Honestly, the first of the year, always a great time to launch a book. But also Valentine's Day, if you're talking about love and loss, right? Mother's Day, if you're talking about women's reproductive health issues. The other thing that you can do, honestly, is to find a list of dates that are relevant to your topic. For example, my first book, Love Letters to Baby Girl, was about my own health journey, dealing with being a Christian woman, a woman of faith, but also having a mental health diagnosis. And so, with that book, thinking about the release dates and the launch, May, Mental Health Awareness Month, July, Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay. So, what I want you to jot down is look up dates relevant to my topic. For example, breast cancer awareness, you know that's in October, right? Also, you know that there are some other dates around different types of cancer, right? There are other dates dealing with domestic violence, other dates dealing with parenting, right? So, whatever your topic is, consider the date that's there. For example, October 11th is Black Girl rest day, right? So if you're writing to an audience where that big day is a big deal for them, think about releasing on that day, by that date, so that you have kind of a momentum with the date built into you publishing your book. Okay. And ladies, I am talking very deliberately because I have a tendency to talk very fast. So I'm trying to slow down to make sure that you get this. So looking at dates, for example, Tina, you're dealing with home ownership and single parenting, right? Of course, you have other audiences. You're going to be dealing with realtors. So if there are specific dates that are relevant to that population, you want to maybe look those up. Okay. All right. So writing to publish. These days, people like to read short books, right? Particularly if it's a how-to book of some sort. So if you think about, I would say 175 down to 150, or even a 100-page book that's short and snappy, okay? Now we're going to get into how you can use the AI tools. And I know some of us are like, AI, ew, right? But I want us to be very intentional here with understanding that there are AI tools that can truly help us here. And you may have used some already. So really quickly, I'm going to pop over to our friend ChatGPT. Okay. Now I understand some of us have reservations about AI. So what I want you to do here is I want you to stay logged out. Okay. All right. Now, what you're going to do with ChatGPT, the free version, the logged out version, is you're going to type this prompt. Give me a second. I'm going to go off camera so that I can type this prompt and you don't have to look up my nose while I do it. Okay. All right. I'm off camera now. So here's my prompt. Give me 10 chapter titles for a 100-page book. So notice how I am asking for a particular amount of chapters. Notice how I'm also typing in here the length of my book. Okay. So those shorter books, a 100-page, a 175, 150, kind of keeping it kind of short as best as you can is very helpful to your readers consuming it, right? Now, if you're writing a memoir, right, and you're just telling us everything about your story, that may be longer. But if you're writing a book that you want people to consume and get information from, 120, 100, 150, at max, I would say 175 at max. Okay. All right. And the other thing you can remember is once you have these skills, you can write multiple books, right? So say this book, for example, Jennifer, this book is about self-esteem, right? For girls. That's one book, 100 pages. This other book is about self-care, right? This other book, okay, right? So that's the concept here of the short and snappy, okay? So give me 10 chapter titles for a 100-page book written for, okay? The written for is where you add in the audience, okay? And you give as much detail about this audience as you can. Written for Christian women ages 30 to 50 dealing with uterine fibroids, okay? And then you can add other things in there, right? You could add their race, you could add their income, you could add things about your audience that ChatGPT will be able to speak to, okay? Uterine fibroids who want to learn how to communicate with their doctors, how to use natural herbs. I don't know. I'm making up things now. Natural herbs, how to exercise and eat, how to use nutrition, how to so any of these ideas that are in your mind of the how-to that you could share, you could type that into your prompt, okay? Now you can add other things such as give me a description of what each chapter is, right? You could add that. So I'm just gonna press really quickly. I'm gonna press this button here. All right. Now notice right here, it's giving you some titles, some chapter titles. Okay. And then what you can do is you could copy and paste these chapter titles into a Google Doc, and then you could then go and fill in the information. Okay. So notice that you could do this for any type of book that you have if your book is yet unwritten. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about what else we could do with ChatGPT here. Okay. What if you said, I really do want to create in my book a workbook type. So you could say, give me a list of 30 daily activity challenges for a woman dealing with fibroids. Okay. Notice how we're still not all the way in the ChatGPT thing. We're still logged out, but it's still helping us. Okay. So say Nisi was writing this book about fibroids, and she said, you know what? Let me make a workbook space in the back where there's a 30-day challenge and they do these things once one thing per 30 days, right? So notice how it gives these 30 things, and she could copy and paste these into a Word document and have these 30 things. Say, for example, Daniela Prose, you want to not just tell people how to do this with etiquette, but you also want to give them some things to do. You could do 21 days of activities for someone who wants to improve their etiquette. Okay. Now, you don't have to use these things verbatim, but what you could do is use them to think through what you would tell them to do, right? So, politeness and basic manners, dining and social etiquette, right? And so you can use all of these things here. The other thing is, if you've already written something, you can also put that in there, okay? So, that is one of the things that you could do with ChatGPT. Now, what if you're stuck on the title of your book? Okay. You could type in here, give me 10 great titles for a book about faith-based Christian etiquette. Okay. So here are some interesting titles that could just allow you to brainstorm, right? Now, guys, guess what? I am over 40. So I know the young people would be like, oh my gosh, they're using ChatGPT as if it's Google, right? But I'm just telling you, we can use it. All right, we can use it to kind of do those things. All right, does anyone have any questions about this or any comments? Okay. All right. So the point here is do not allow yourself to get stuck because you can't think through something when you have tools to kind of help you think through and get things done. Okay. So say, for example, you're writing about your life story, or you don't even know what to write about. You could literally type into Chat GPT, I've experienced this in my life. I've experienced this in my life. Tell me some book ideas. Give me book ideas. And Chat GPT will literally say, oh, here you've lived a very interesting life. Here are 10 ideas for how you could write a book, okay, about those things in your life. Okay. Again, the point here is not for you to just use Chat GPT to write your whole book, but for you to use it as a thought partner. Okay. All right. So now let's move on to something else that I believe will be of great help to you. Excuse me. Uh-oh. All right. Okay. So give me just a second. Let me get back to where we were. All right. Are you right now going to Chat GPT? Is anyone going to Chat GPT right now? You can raise your hand if you are. Maddie said, I've used it before. Great, great, great. Daniela Pro says, my hands up. Anisi is clapping. Great, great, great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So one of the things about this being a workshop is you can work in this time. You can use it as protected time to do some work as well. Okay, so the other thing that I want you to consider is your writing schedule. If you do not already have your manuscript, you want to think about a writing schedule because many of us, we have ideas circling in our heads, but the real thing is you've got to get it on the paper, right? And one of the hardest things to do is to start with a blank white page. And GPT will help you, or any other AI large language model like large language models like Chat GPT will help you get something on the page, and then you can begin to think. But let's talk about your writing schedule, okay? If this is going to get done, you've got to do it, right? If it's going to get done, you got to do it. So I want you to think about what is the type of writing schedule that you need. Are you a hammer it out kind of person where you work intensely? You're the one who does all nighters. You're the one who hammers it out in a week. Or are you the chip away over time person where you need 60 to 90 minutes a day for a month to hammer to get it chipped away at, right? To chip away at it. This is very important because, for example, many of us are like, oh, yeah, I can write that. Oh, yeah, I've written that piece over there. But the bringing it together really does require you to get a writing schedule that works for you, not a writing schedule that works for someone else. Whether you do it in 2 weeks or you do it in 2 years, as long you got to get it done. And so, what kind of writing schedule works for you? In the chat, I need you to put, are you a one, you hammer it out, you just work intensely, you do all nighters, or are you a chip away at it type of person? Are you a one or a two? I need everybody to respond in the chat. Are you a one, you hammer it out? Are you a chip away, you're a two, okay? All right, okay. Rashida says, I'm a one. Maddie says, I'm a two. Dominique says, I am both. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm both. So I need you to decide on this one book project that we're focusing on. Because I guarantee you, if you think about 5, none of them will get done. I need you to decide with your timeline, this book will be done. This one book that I'm focused on will be done by this time. And then I want you to decide, am I going to hammer it out or am I going to chip away at it? Okay. All right. And you can use Chat GPT as well to come up with a writing schedule for yourself, right? You can literally put in there the hours that you work, the date that you want to get it done, how many pages you want to write. You can even put in there the tool that you're going to use. Like, are you going to use Microsoft Word? Are you going to use Google Sheets? Like, you can Google Docs regularly. You can literally put all this information into Chat GPT or any of the AI, and they can literally spit out for you a writing schedule. The other thing you can do is you can hire a writing coach. That is what I do as well. Okay. So the next thing is editing. Okay. Editing is a costly endeavor. Point
Quick
blank.
question, Kimberly. What does a writing coach do?
Yes. So a writing coach will help you with a schedule. They will also help you literally think through your ideas and also like check in with you as you are doing the writing. Great question. Okay. Great question. All right. So here's the other thing, editing. I have written books and editing has been a major cost. Okay. And some of you are thinking, yep, that major cost is prohibitive. So let's talk about that. Okay. Number one, Grammarly. As you know, you've used Grammarly a whole lot. Use Grammarly here. Okay. What this is going to do for you when you get the paid for version of Grammarly, Grammarly is going to allow you to literally put in text. Okay. You just put in the text, and then it's going to give you all of the information that you need. Now, what you can do over here, right, with generative AI. Now, I have to admit, I don't like that one because it never says what I wanted to say, right? But you can totally use that. Now, check for AI text and plagiarism. if you're writing academic papers like Nisi, she's going to be doing her PhD, you would use that. But the other wonderful thing about Grammarly is you can literally set the Grammarly to editor settings of what do you want it to be able to do for you. Okay. Increase text font, don't check text inside quotes. You can do all of these things. But the other thing that you can do with Grammarly, as you know, I'm going to just show you a piece of text that I have here. Okay. So here is a random piece of text that I have. Okay. And what I can do here is I can actually set how I want Grammarly, to check this, right? I can change my voice in terms, I'm sorry, let me go back. I can change my voice in terms of, well, how do I actually want this thing to sound, okay? Do I want it to sound, and all of this is with the Grammarly Pro, okay? So with this Grammarly Pro, you can make it do all of these things, such as setting in there, what kind of voice do I want to have here, okay? And with this, it's going to show you, okay? It's going to show you also how to increase the impact of your text. Give me just a second. You can look at suggestions. So it's already fixed this. So here we go. Let's just look at this really quickly. Okay. I can literally look here for the correctness. Okay. I can look here for clarity. If there are things that need to change to make it more clear what I'm saying, engagement, delivery. Okay. Delivery, and then the style guide. Okay. So with this, I'm sorry, guys, I need to actually have a piece of text in here that needs changing. Okay, so let me just erase a couple of things here. And okay, so that you can see how it gives that to you here. Now, you may be thinking, oh, Kimberly, I know I already use Grammarly. Yes. And so one of the things that you can get here is your workflow here. Okay, your workflow is free write about your book for 30 minutes. Literally set the timer and free write everything you're thinking. Free write every single thing that you're thinking, okay? Then put it in Grammarly, okay? And Grammarly will not only help shape it up with the grammar, the sentence structure and everything, but then you can press increase the impact of your text, okay? And it will actually generate some suggestions for you that will improve your writing and help you continue to write, okay? So again, this can literally be your tech stack, okay? You write things in Google Docs, okay? Then from Google Docs, you just free write for 30 minutes on that thing, whatever it is. Maybe you go to ChatGPT and you find, and you look up, you look for your 10 chapters. Then you copy and paste that over into a Google Doc, and literally you set your timer for 30 minutes. And you just write and write and write for 30 minutes under that one chapter, okay? Now, what you could do is then you could copy what you've written, put it into Grammarly, and then spend maybe 10 minutes correcting it on Grammarly. If you're a chip away kind of person, if you literally have that 30-minute schedule every day, or an hour schedule rather, every day of 30 minutes of writing, 10 minutes of correcting, and then adding to your structure of your text, you will literally have full, nice text that you're working with, okay? But the other thing is that maybe you're like, well, I want real editing. I want the real deal, Holyfield editing, okay? So what you can do there is you can hire an editor, okay? I will say this, that your editor is probably going to run you between $400 and $1,200 for your editor, okay? On Reedsy, Upwork, Fiverr, you can hire the editor to review your content and give you feedback, okay? And then the other thing is you can always send your manuscript to friends to give you feedback, okay? And of course, you know, your friends will be like, girl, I don't have time for that. You could split it up. You could send one chapter to this person, another chapter to that person, another chapter to that person, and just say, hey guys, I really need your help. Could you take a look at this for me? Okay. And that friend may be able to catch issues that you didn't see and give you not just copy editing, which is punctuation, grammar stuff, but they can also give you content editing. Like, well, this didn't really make sense. Can you add more here, girl? This was a good juicy story and you just cut it off, right? So that's another option for you in terms of editing. And then you can always work with me as an editor as well, okay? All right. So here is the big kahuna, okay?
I have a quick question.
Yes,
So,
Tina.
so you said you're a coach and then you're also a book an editor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And don't worry, I will revisit this at the end. Don't worry. Okay. Great question, Tina. Was that the end of your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, so the next thing is interior formatting. Okay, so what I encourage you to do is to use Kindle Direct Publishing. Kindle Direct Publishing is a partner with Amazon. A few things that this will do for you. Number one, there will be no upfront cost to put your book in KDP. The other thing is you won't have to buy a bunch of books to keep on hand unless you choose to. You can put your book on Amazon, and when people want to buy your book, you can send them to Amazon, right? And they can buy your book on Amazon because you've uploaded into KDP. Okay. But in order to upload on KDP, you have to have an interior formatting. Okay. The other thing is, I want you to consider the formatting, this idea of creating an inviting experience for your reader. Okay. You don't want to just put things on a page. You want to put some heart into that. So where are we going to go? To all of our best friend, canva.com. So Canva is going to do a whole lot for you. It does a lot for me. And it's about $14.99 per month. I think that's the price that they went up to, right? Where you can literally use Canva to format the interior of your book. Okay. So let's get over to Canva really quickly. Okay. So here we've got our friend Canva. Okay. Again, it's only $14.99 per month. Okay. So really quickly, I'm going to show you a document. Okay. All right. And I actually am going to share these documents with you if you choose. Okay. So here is a template for an interior design. Okay. All right. So a few things. Okay. With the Kindle Direct Publishing, you've got to have a PDF, right? So what you have here in this template that I will share with you, it is a ready-made, already template for you that you can actually use. Here you will notice page numbers that you can just click there and add them. And then here you can actually paste in content. So again, let's go back to that workflow. Okay, you looked up chapters in ChatGPT. Okay, and then you started typing and thinking that 30 minutes in Google Docs, and then you copied and pasted and put it in Grammarly, right? And Grammarly fixes it for you. From there, you can actually copy and paste the text directly here into this template. Okay, you can add your title of what you want to be here. Okay, say you've got a forward, but you want to give it a cute title, like The Girl Who Never Sleeps. God forbid that be your life, but maybe you want to add the title there. Then whatever your content is, you can add it here. Okay. Now notice here in Canva, you can choose different fonts right here, different font sizes. Okay. And say you then, okay, you've got, this is your first, for example, this is your first chapter. Okay. There's your subtitle right there. And then you're adding your content here. Okay. And then you can literally duplicate this page for yourself and do your own interior formatting. Okay. Boxes, you can add these boxes here and you can change the shading on your box here. Okay. All right. All right. So I am actually going to add this template. This is going to be free to you. Okay. So here you are going to have to log into KDP. into Canva to use this template. But I'm going to add this template right here into the chat for everyone here. Okay. All right. So here's a template. All right. People pay a lot of money to pay people to do their formatting for them. Why? Because it is tedious. It is tedious, y'all. I'm not going to lie. It is tedious. It takes hours and hours, and you got to kind of inch things around. But if you can do this for yourself, you will save tons of money. Okay. Let's look at another template. Okay. This is a more elegant, in my opinion, template, and it's already got these elements already in here for you. Okay. But say you're like, I don't really like that little squiggly. You can always come over here and make your things beautiful for your reader. Say you want to add a flower to your pages. Flower, line, graphic. Okay. You can type in flower line graphic and boom, you've got these beautiful graphics here that you could add. And you can also click here and say, see more like this. So say, for example, you wanted to add this graphic here at the bottom of all of your pages. You totally could do that, okay? And of course, you can click on this right here, and it will add it to all of your pages, okay? All right. So again, elements like this, you can look up over here where it says elements, okay? And you can look up elegant. If you're one of those people who likes pretty things, elegant page border, okay? You can create a gorgeous page border that gives your audience a beautiful experience with your book, okay? Yes, it's tedious. Yes, it takes time, but it is so worth it. It makes it so valuable for your reader because they say, wait a minute, they put a lot of time into this, okay? Now, you can also look up professional page border. Say, for example, you're like Tina and you don't want a bunch of frills and thrills in there because you're working with realtors, right? Well, you could have some professional page borders that you look up here, okay? All right. So now I'm going to share this template with you, all right? I ask that you do not share this with other people. This is copy private link. Allow view access. Copy the link only you can access. Okay. Allow view access. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to share this one with you. This is an elegant template here. Okay. Now, ladies, if you can kind of force yourself to do this on your own, you will save tons of money. Is it time consuming? Yes. However, it will save you the money. If you got the time, then you can do this, okay? And then finally, let me go to
this is Rashida. On that link you just sent it, I had to request access, just so you know.
Gotcha. Okay, give me a second. So you had to request access. Thank you so
Just
much.
on the second.
Yeah, I just requested access also.
Okay, give me a second. Let me see. So what I will do after this meeting is give you all access. And a part of that is because, these are items this is intellectual property, basically. So so requesting access, I will give you access, but it will not be something that you'll really be able to share with anybody. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This is amazing.
You are so welcome. You're welcome. So what this will do, okay, I'm sorry. Let me give you one piece of information here. Okay, as you know, when you are looking at a book, okay, a book opens to the left and to the right. Your odd pages open to the right. Okay, so you will want to put your page number here. Okay, your even pages open to the left. So you would want to put your page number on the left. Okay, page 3, odd page to the right. Okay, page 4, even page to the left. Okay, all right. So that is really, really important there. What I suggest that you do here is that you keep the title. What I do in most of my books is the title. I'll always put the title on right there of the whole book right there, but I'll put the title of the chapter on that right side. That is your choice. That's totally your choice of how you want to do that. Okay? All right. So I have shared all of these template links. Feel free to request access. Now I'm going to tell you again, it is tedious. It is tedious. It is. It takes me probably 12 hours to do a book, right? But again, if you can chop and nibble at it, or chip away at it, it makes it easy. So let's go back again to your tech stack. Again, you start off ChatGPT. Think, give you some ideas, right? Then you go to Google Docs, you spend 30 minutes, type. You copy and paste that, you put that into Grammarly. Grammarly fixes it for you, and then you copy and paste it here into the text box. Okay, that is a tech flow that you can totally use. Okay, so let's get back here. Does anyone have any questions about that?
No, I think that's amazing. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, ladies. So down here, you can use the templates that I'm sharing and that I will give you access to. You can use those templates. Okay. However, if you're like, look, this is too much, I am not about to sit here and do all this, you can hire someone on Readsy. You can hire them on Upwork. You can hire them on Fiverr. You can also work with me. I do interior formatting. Okay. All right. So the next thing is that cover design. And as you know, as I have said, our best friend is Canva, but I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start here with 99 Designs. Okay. I'm going to start here with 99 Designs because if you're like, look, I want a phenomenal cover, and I'm not taking chances, you can find a designer. Okay. On 99 Designs. You can tell right here, what do I want? I want a book cover, okay? I want a book cover, and take a look at this. You will see the work of the designers right here for you, okay? And you can choose the languages, you can choose the level, right? You're like, okay, these top people are probably gonna charge me an arm and a leg, so let me go with the mid-level, okay? And as you can see, there isn't exactly much of a difference between those top and those mid levels. So you can totally choose your designer here. But the other thing that you can do, if you're like, look, I don't know what I want to do, right? You can totally come in here and create a contest, okay? When you create a contest, it allows multiple designers to be able to give you ideas. The other thing that you can do here is you can actually share, once you get the designs, you can share with people the designs and with the link, and they can vote. That kind of gets your people involved, okay? Get your folks involved. So you can find a designer, you can go to the studio, and you can also easily come in here and create a design contest. You can also do a consult with someone, okay? And they give you all kinds of things. But I want you to notice here, okay, look at these packages, okay? This is helping you create, helping you create not just your book, but way beyond that, okay? So you can also Google book cover design contest. But say, for example, you're like, look, I don't have that kind of money. Let's go to our friend, our beloved friend. What's our friend's name? Canva. It's only $14.99 per month, and all of the things that you can do. So please pay attention right here, okay? We're going to go home, okay? We are now home. Uh-oh. I'm going to click on Canva. You see these buttons here. I'm going to click on Canva AI. Okay, Canva AI. I'm going to come down here to image. Okay, click on image. Now, please pay attention to this part, okay? You can go here to style and you can see these different styles here, okay? One that I love to use is fashion. Why? I don't know. But then I can come here and I can click here and I can go down to 3:4 ratio, which is the closest to a book cover that you're going to get of all of these. Go to the 3:4 ratio. I'm going to go off of camera so that I can type and you don't want to look up my nose. Here we go. Okay. So I'm off camera. I want you to look at the screen. Okay. Let me see if I can make it bigger for you. Yep. There we go. So again, you go home and you're going to look here. Okay. You're going to click Canva AI. Okay. You're going to come here and then you're going to click an image. And then you're going to choose the kind of design, kind of thing that you're looking for. Maybe you want to go with moody. Maybe you want to go with portrait. Okay. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to, again, find the 3:4 ratio that is the closest to a book cover size. And you're going to type create a book cover image. And then you can describe what you want of a African American woman with chocolate colored skin, looking joyfully at the sun, wearing a red dress. Okay. Now, this is extremely generic. What I'm typing here is extremely generic. However, it's going to give you something. Okay. All right. All right. So let's just see what it gives us here. All right. So again, we chose fashion, and this is what we described. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we're going to get away from fashion. I'm going to come here to smart. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, reuse prompt. Okay. So once you type something in, you can always click there for this thing here for reuse prompt. And you can choose, you know what, let me see what they do when I do minimalist. Okay. And you can continue to do that, right? Until you get something of what you want there. Now, say you want a Gothic rose covered book. Okay. I don't know, but a Gothic, I don't know what you want to describe. Okay. Here. But say, for example, so I'm sorry. So here are some of the images that you get here. Okay. And again, you can come here and you can click on that little button there. Okay. Okay. Create a book cover with the words, "She healed," boldly in red letters, with a pregnant African, racially ambiguous woman, sitting in a garden, wearing a white dress. Okay. So describe what you have in mind. Okay. Describe what you have in mind for whatever image comes to your mind. Okay. Now, the thing about these images is usually they're going to mess up somewhere around the foot, the eye, the tooth, or the hands, especially the hands. Okay. All right. The other thing is they will usually miss something. Okay. But I'm going to take this image really quickly right here. Okay. And I'm going to click on it and I'm going to download it. Uh-oh, let me go back. All right, go back. So I'm just gonna take this image here. I'm gonna click on it, and then it's gonna allow me to download. Okay. From there, I can press create. I'm gonna type in the words book cover. There we go. Book cover. And then I'm gonna press upload to upload the image that was just created. All right. Hold on. Where did it go? Okay. And then I can set this image as the background. Okay. What I can do is actually remove the background. Hold on. I can remove this background because I like the image, but the words are funny to me, right? And then you can even create a background back there. So a beautiful, beautiful garden. Misspelling beautiful garden. So generate background. So my point here is we have the power of AI that can help us and prevent us from having to, spend enormous amounts of money to accomplish the things that are definitely in our heart to do. Okay. So that created that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to position this one and I'm going to, I'm going to put my lady back in there. Okay. Where did she go? Okay. Where did the lady go? Okay. Hold on, y'all. Hold for excellent customer service. So as you can see, you probably use Canva already, but there's other things that you can do with it, to be honest. There's other things that you can do with it. And creating book covers is one of the things that you can do, okay? So you don't have to depend on someone else completely to do it if you're willing to get in here and just do the thing, okay? From there, you can come here, all right? Use your text box, okay? And you can totally add your the type of font that you want here, okay? You can change the color of the font here, okay? And you can create a beautiful cover for your book, okay? The other thing is you can click here at design and you can see book covers. You can type in book covers so that you're not starting from scratch, okay? And here you have some ideas of book covers that you could start with, okay? The other thing is if you're like, you know what, I don't even like this AI stuff and she doesn't even look real, what you can do is you can come down here to photos and you can type in the different photos that you're interested in. Okay, so with everything that's here on Canva, you literally have access to it and a license to use it because it is here on Canva, okay? Say, for example, you want to just create your own flowers all around your book. You can totally do that. But let's go back to photos. You can type in photos things you want to see, okay? So, Black mother with child, okay? All right. and you can type in and look for the pictures and things that you're interested in. Okay. So up here at elements, right here with elements, say for example, you want a gold glow, okay? You can type in gold glow and add that gold glow wherever you want it to go. It can be near your words, you can add some sparkles, okay? So basically, if you think of something, you can type it here, okay? If you think of something, you can type it here. The other thing that you can do is you can go and look at these designs, right? You can look at these designs that these other people have done. You can say, okay, that's interesting. I kind of like that. Okay. All right, I'm sorry. Let me go back to the book covers. Okay. You can look at things that other designers have created and notice how this cover design starts at $279, right? But you can look at the designs that others have made and you can say, you know what? I like that. Let me see if I can go create something similar. Okay.
And if you create
Um,
something yourself, Kimberly, that's not like stealing somebody's information, is it? Or how is it a thin line on that?
Say that one more time.
I said, would there be like a thin line between, like, if you looked at somebody else's stuff and said, well, I don't want to pay them for it, but I want to create it like that. Is there like a thin line between making sure you're not stealing somebody else's stuff?
Absolutely. So one of the things is you can't just like take someone's image and use their exact image. What you can do is use it as inspiration. So say for example, I see this right here and I'm like, you know what? I like the snake on the sword, right? So what I would do is I would go here to Canva AI, right? And I would say, okay, oh no, I'm sorry. I would go to Canva AI image. You cannot just rip someone's thing. But what you can do is you can say, I like the way that the words were placed there. I'm going to place my words similarly. I like the colors that were used. And you know what? I'm going to create an image that kind of goes with the same idea. Now, one thing about the AI images, so what was that? A snake on a sword. Okay. So it's not going to give you exactly what the person did, right? But it can be inspiration. So one of the things that I've noticed is that good designers, whether it's you or someone you hire, they always go look at what best-selling books, the way that best-selling books look, right? So say, for example, and even if you didn't, even if you didn't find something that you really liked, you go over there and you see, okay, best-selling books that is a memoir usually have one person on the cover and the font size is this big, right? Or this small. So those kinds of things. So you notice how I use it as inspiration, but none of these images look exactly like what I just saw. You see what I'm saying? So you absolutely cannot just take someone else's image and throw it on the cover of your book. That won't work. However, what you could do is you could actually look online for images that you like in an image finder, and you can pay the license to use that image. That is also another option, to pay the license to use that image. Okay, excellent question, Carla. Are there any other questions about this?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. For the Canva port where you showed us, are we allowed to upload images where, like, say if I have a picture of myself that I want to put on my book cover, are you able to upload it where they can add like words and other designs to that picture, or it's just pictures that's on the website on
Great
Canva?
question. So sorry, I did not show you guys that. So sorry. So where you upload pictures, things that you're already interested in, right? Where you upload those, and this is where you upload anything that you have, is you click on, oh, hold on, sorry. Here where it says, give me a second. So on this side, where you, photo is where you find photos inside of here, okay? Uploads is where you can upload a photo. So you click on upload, then you click upload files, and then you can find those files on your desktop, okay? And then you can click there, okay? And once you, I'm just gonna have a random screenshot, y'all, sorry. But once you press open, that photo will be there. You can take that photo and you can put it wherever you want it to be. Sorry, I just chose something random, okay? So you can absolutely upload your own photos there, okay? Any questions about that?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're
I
welcome.
have a separate question. I don't know if you went over it already, but on the 3-to-4 ratio, whenever you're adding like pages of like images to the book, you're going to
Mhm.
use that same ratio, correct?
You said pages.
Like additional pages like within the book.
Okay, so great question. So what I'm about to show you is these are gonna be two separate documents. So now we're gonna go ahead and get into the meat and butter and all of the things, okay? So you're going to create an account in Kindle Direct Publishing. And in where it says bookshelves, this is where you're going to create your title, okay? In Kindle Direct Publishing, in order to publish a book, for example, I will go here, okay? So this is a coloring book that I created. I'm going to show you all the setup of this, okay? Now, the reason why I'm sharing specifically Kindle Direct Publishing, because this is a self-publishing area, right? And in order to self-publish here, okay, you're going to press create a book. You're going to choose the language, the book title, subtitles. You're going to say who wrote it. You are going to describe your book there. And then you're going to obviously choose the copyright here. Now, you go to copyright.gov to get your copyright. Your copyright is going to be $65, okay? You can totally put your book out here onto KDP, okay, before your copyright arrives. It will still be under copyright, but you're going to choose, I have my own copyright there. Then there are no sexually explicit images, okay? And then you're going to put it into Amazon.com, which is the market. Your categories. You get to choose what categories here. There's all different types of categories. You press general, you press edit categories, and you can choose that. Keywords. The keywords of your book: fibroids, realtors, renting, any of the keywords that are cancer, any words that are relevant to that. Okay. You're going to press save and continue after that.
Can you go back? I'm sorry. I'm trying to write all this down. You're saying when you're okay, so when you just the last part after Amazon.com, you're gonna put in, you're gonna go down to something about editing. Oh, categories.
Yep. So you get to choose your categories, and you can go in here and choose up to 3 categories. And categories are just the types, the umbrella for your book, right? Different
Okay.
categories, so many different ones. There's history, and there's so many different categories. So let me, I'll go in here to the category. You can actually see what other books are in these categories, okay? That's one of the benefits of that.
Oh, I got it.
Tina, you got that?
Yes.
Okay, and you can choose up to 3 categories under which people can find your book. Okay, I'm gonna press save and continue. Okay, all right. A lot of people have trouble with this because you have to kind of have specific numbers in terms of how you upload documents into KDP. Okay, so here you can either buy an ISBN number. Okay, those run about $22 for a kind of a limited one, and they can run as much as $120 for a more broad one. Or you can use an ISBN that's free here in KDP. The difference here is if you get a KDP ISBN, you can basically only have your book here on Amazon. If you get your own ISBN number, you can put it anywhere. You can put it in bookstores, you can sell it, I don't know, out of the back of your trunk. I mean, you can sell these out of the back of your trunk too, but you can put it in bookstores, you can put it in other online platforms other than Amazon. If you get your ISBN here, it's free, so there's no upfront cost, but you're only really able to sell your book on Amazon and then sell your own author copies, okay? So I recommend getting your own ISBN, okay? So then you get to choose what you want your book to, what you want your interior to be like, okay? Black and white paper, black and white cream paper, okay? Standard color interior or premium color. So say, for example, you've got a really nice workbook. You might want to do premium color for your workbook. Then you can choose your different sizes, okay? You can choose your different sizes. There's all different sizes and widths and heights here, okay? But what I want to get to here is you can choose your matte versus your glossy. But what I want to get to here is you will have two separate documents. One of the documents will be your interior document, which will be a PDF that you will download, and you will upload it here in Upload Manuscript, okay? Your second document will be your book cover, okay? So for your book cover, you will have basically the entire wrap around the front and back cover of your book that you will have. So basically, just want to show you this. That book cover that you created here, okay? You're going to go to resize here, okay? Now, guys, I know it's tedious. It is. And then you're going to look up KDP cover template, okay? Now, this is where a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm just going to hire someone to do this. But you can do this, okay? So you're going to go to KDP cover template calculator, okay? You're going to click on cover calculator and you're going to put all the information in here. Your binding type. Okay, I want it to be a paperback. Interior, it's going to be premium color. You can always choose black and white. Your paper type, white paper, always left to right. Okay, your measurements in inches. We always choose inches here in the United States. And then you get to choose your trim size. These are all the different sizes of books. 6x9 is the standard regular, trade book size. Well, you can choose any of these sizes, okay? 8.5 by 11 is a regular workbook size, okay? So you choose any of those and then you choose your total page count. Where did this page count come from? It came from how many pages you have in that interior formatted document in Canva, okay? You're gonna put that page count here, so 132 pages, okay? Then you're going to press calculate dimensions. From there, okay, this is your full cover. So you're going to copy this number right here, and you're going to put that in Canva, okay, right here. And you're going to press custom size. You're going to change this to inches. You're going to put the width in here, okay, and then you're going to put the height. The height that I saw was 11.25, okay. Now, what you're going to have here is your entire outer cover, okay? So you're going to upload the front cover here, and you're going to upload your back cover on this side, okay? So here's my front cover, for example. I'm going to bring it here and stretch it out, okay? Then I'm going to create my back cover here. Maybe I'm going to put, there we go. I'm going to make this back cover like this, and I'm going to add my bio by putting a text box here. And I'm going to make sure that I stay in these lines so that it gets printed, okay? And here I'm going to copy and paste my bio here, and I'm going to put my picture in this little corner. I always leave this space open because this is where the barcode is going to go. Now, if you have your own ISBN number, they're also going to send you a barcode, and you're going to put that barcode here. Then you're going to download this as a PDF, okay? You're going to download this as a PDF. And once that's completely done, you download it, and that is going to be the document that you upload here into your cover, okay? The template, the interior document that you created is what you're going to upload here under Upload Manuscript, okay? Once you have those two documents uploaded, you're going to press Launch Previewer, okay? It's going to take a little while, a few minutes to roll around, but what it's going to allow you to do is to see exactly what your book would look like in print, okay? Here's the back cover. Remember, you're going to put the cover on this side, and you're going to put the information about yourself and maybe even your picture here as the author. You're going to leave that open for the barcode. And then when you launch Previewer, you're going to be able to see exactly what your book looks like on the inside. Okay? And if it looks exactly how you want it to look and you find no errors, you're going to press Approve. Okay? From there, now you have a book. Okay? Now you get to go and choose your pricing. Okay? And this is to set up your account in KDP. You are going to need your banking information and your tax information. Why? Because you're going to be getting royalties from the purchase of your book. Okay? So here we have, I want to make my book maybe $20. Okay? Right? From there, you're going to see what your royalties would be. This is your print cost, and these are your royalties that you would have here. Okay? All right. And then you can press publish your paperback. When you press publish your paperback, what you'll see is that you can request a proof. Okay? One of my clients requested a proof and sent multiple proofs and gave them to his friends to read before he fully published. But basically, if there are no issues with your book, it will publish in 72 hours. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. So again, you can use the cover design with you can hire someone on Fiverr, Upwork, Readsy. You can also use 99 Designs. Now, again, you cannot just take someone's work and slap it up there as your cover. Thank you for asking that clarifying question, Carla. However, I encourage you to look at books that are similar to the types that you want to write. Look at those that are bestsellers. You can even look them up on Amazon and think, how did they lay this out? What kind of colors did they use? What kind of images did they use? And then use Canva to use some of the same similar elements. So the placement of words, how big was their author picture on the back? Okay. So I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So again, you can use Canva to create your interior documents, to create your cover. Okay. Then you can use ISBN services. So I'm going to pop over to ISBN services really quickly for you to see that you can use ISBN services to actually, to purchase your ISBN and also to turn your book into an ebook. Once you have that interior document as a PDF, you can actually, okay, so here you can buy your ISBN here, and then also here's a customized ISBN that's a little bit more expensive. And then, as you can see, you can buy it here, your ISBN, and then you can also get your book converted to ebook, okay, here. Okay, and here are your prices, okay. All right, for simple nonfiction, $69. For simple fiction, $69. There are your page numbers there. Okay, the amount of pages there. Okay, Josh at ISBN Services, I know him because I've worked with him so much, will send you the EPUB document that you need. And then, okay, I'm sorry. And then once you have that EPUB document, you can then come in here and you can create the Kindle ebook and upload that document. After you have an ebook document, okay? After you have an ebook document, you can then easily and quickly turn that into an audiobook, okay? So with the audiobook, you'll already have the information that's here. Now, right now, KDP allows you to create an audiobook for free with no upfront cost as long as you have an ebook in there, okay? So here we go. You can actually explore, you can pick the voice that you want, okay?
His manner was not effusive. It seldom was, but he was glad.
His manner was not effusive.
His manner was not effusive. It seldom
Okay.
was.
So you can choose the voice that you want to read your audiobook, okay? Then you can also go into the virtual studio, okay? You can choose, there's like all kinds of, oh, it kicked me out, all kinds of different voices that you can choose from for your audiobook, okay? And so one of the benefits again of this is once you have that ebook, you can for free or at no upfront cost, create your create your audiobook in literally minutes, okay? This is gonna be sold on Amazon and it's gonna be sold on Audible, okay? And as you can see, here are the estimated royalties. When you have an ebook added on to Amazon, okay, it's only an 80-cent royalty, but when you have a standalone audiobook or you sell it in Audible or someone buys it in Audible, that's a $4 royalty. Not much money, but think about if you put it in there and you only put it in there once and somebody buys it 2 years from now, then you have a $4 royalty that you didn't even expect, okay? Right. All right. All right, ladies. So I'm going to come back here and we're going to kind of wrap up. But the last thing I want you to think about is you can use Canva again to create pre-sale flyers. Say, for example, you're thinking, man, I need to hire a book coach. I need to pay someone to do this cover, all of these things, okay? You can absolutely pre-sell your book by having a flyer and having a way for people to buy your book via pre-sale, right? And then as long as you put that pre-sale date out there far enough for you to actually be able to deliver on getting that pre-sale book to your purchaser on time, then that's a viable option. But if you know I don't want to have anyone hating me over $20, then you don't have to use the pre-sale. But you can absolutely use social media and text messages. You got a graphic, you can totally send that to people, post it on social media, send it to people, and allow people to purchase your book on Amazon, okay? Finally, creating a website, okay? I'm literally giving you all everything right here. You can use Kit. Kit.com is a website that allows you to create a landing page, and it teaches you how to create these different things. It's only $33 per month, okay? And it allows you to create a beautiful landing page that is phenomenal, an excellent landing page that is just beautiful and kind of intuitive, easy for you to create the things that you need to create to make a very nice landing page. It even gives you different features, allows you to watch demos of how to create your landing page, okay? And again, it's only $33 per month, okay? So at this time, I am going to go ahead and go back to the final PowerPoint slides here, okay? But in closing, please feel free to share your contact information, and we can share it with the other ladies that are here, okay? So
I would love that. And I wanted to ask questions earlier. The young lady that talked about her having cancer, also being a cancer survivor. I'm trying to put a podcast together myself, and I'm trying to figure out what equipment I should